Alright, folks, so I didn't realize that creating a broadcast would actually start the stream technically, even if I didn't hit start stream. So that's why it may have just been like my banner art or something like that for the past few minutes. So yeah, please be patient with me as I actually get the stream going. It shouldn't take that long. I just need to get a few last minute changes in. And this one should be relatively quick because I kinda gotta get back to work after opening this poll. And I'll explain why I'm doing it earlier than usual. Okay, so I just realized something. I realized that you can have like a stream be like posted but not have to start streaming yet. I think I've seen other YouTubers do that, so if you're wondering why that is, yeah, that's kind of what I accidentally did. So yeah, there's that. And if I was quiet earlier, I kept forgetting to move my mic over. Did this the other day when I played D&D, but yeah. Whenever I'm not streaming, I set my mic at the corner of my desk, so it's like far away from me. So yeah, should get started in 5 to 10 minutes. My goal is to open things up at 3 p.m. Pacific time instead of 5. The plan normally would be to do 5, but I got something going on at 5. I'll explain more once I start the stream and add the timestamps because last episode, the selection results, I was terrible at recording those. So, yep, this time I'm going to try and remember to timestamp things as we go. And I'll probably be better at doing that once we have the actual results and Fallen and Grizz are helping me out with them. So, yeah. Luckily, I don't need them for the stream. It's just me opening the brackets up, or well, opening the polls up. So, no heavy lifting required here. Oh goodness, what is happening to my stream window? I don't know, it's weird size. At the same time, I'm going to check my work computer and not say anything about it other than if I need to get back to work. Good. No work for now. I'll be back at work in 10 minutes, I swear. If my employers are watching this. Oh, shoot, an email actually came in. I think it's more of just a group message thing. Or it's one of those like announcement ones that you sometimes get even when you're like, I don't know, part of a school or whatever. You know, those kinds. Cool. Alright, so there's that. My work headphones fell as I slammed the computer down aggressively. The fun of working, am I right, Arrow? And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Was I there last week? I think I was. I know I've missed some of the last after class episodes on Shin's channel, which should link somehow or somewhere. But yeah, been doing that lately the past few weeks. That's been a good middle ground for me. Not overdoing my voice acting stuff, but at the same time still doing something, so I'm not just sitting there doing nothing. Alright, we should almost be ready. I am going to go to... should I pull up the brackets first? We may have lost some of you. Wait. Uh-oh. Make sure they still remain. Uh-oh. This is why I always need to prepare in advance. To the Dirk program. As I open up the program, which is called Tableau. Funny thing is, I started using this for work, and then I realized, hey, I could use this for March Madness. So I downloaded a version onto my own computer, so I'm not mixing this in with my work stuff. And yeah, I am opening it right now. There was a notification thing that said like, oh, maybe some of your changes may have not been saved, and I'm like panicked about that. So here is my test to see if it works. I'm going to change that filter default setting thingamabob. Gonna change that one. And go ahead and change that one. Is this gonna work? Come on. Just a bit too small. 70. Can I do 72%? I guess I can. This is to help me preview the... Now let's do 72%. I'm a wuss. I'm too scared to go 1 more percent. Scroll that over. And if these changes save, these are just little cosmetic changes I'm making, then everything should be good. Had a weird thing with signing in earlier where it looked like everything was fine, but you know, internet, man. It's hard to trust. Never trust the internet. Don't trust the funny YouTuber on the internet. They want your V-Bucks. Is that what the kids say? You know, I've been trying to look older. People say I look a little young for my age, so I've been trying to come off as a little older. How am I doing? Okay, that looks good, that looks good. Press buttons. And the save button. This is where it all matters. I wonder if that... Okay, no, I did not. I need to save the link still. Because it opens up on a different browser that I have, and so as a result of that, I am having to like copy that over and paste it, so I'm waiting patiently. Oh no. Actually no, not oh no. That's just a blank window, that doesn't matter. Why did I think streaming and saving stuff at the same time was a good idea? Oh no, people are playing this back. The pressure. I made this one. Oh, congrats, Onyx. Yes, it is that time of year. Yeah, the selection process was quite a fun endeavor for me. But now we are actually starting the bracket. Can I cancel it? Yeah, okay. I'm just gonna cancel that for now. And retry. Because sometimes it just gets stuck. I sometimes think being able to know how to code and stuff is a blessing and a curse. Like, I don't know, like, deep level stuff or whatever, where it's like, oh, let me hack the mainframe type of coding, but I know your basics, your Pythons, your C++s, well, I don't use that one much anymore, but mostly your Pythons, your SQLs, and then some visualization programs, like the one I'm using, Tableau. It looks like it's making progress. Good things are happening. So I will start in about 2 minutes. Meanwhile, as that is rolling over, Yep, I saved that. Okay, good. My time stamping is good. I have not messed up already. Oh no, it gives me a warning message that says that some of this renders stuff from outside the program, or well, from outside this program, and talking about being careful and providing sensitive information, like your best VN characters of the year. Very sensitive information, I know. Okay, I'm just gonna share this with myself. Thank you, self. Okay, so by default, that just goes to that, so that's not a biggie deal. Biggie deal. Biggie Smalls. I can't speak. Alright, but yeah, the other filters work just fine. So I, by default, put everything on the niche setting of the filters, just so we can see our lovely niche division first. Alright, now time to paste. And this is the window I'm going to be sharing with everybody. Yes, I know it's sensitive. Stop it. Oh gosh. Try to hit the X button. I am very good at this programming stuff. And it does by default start at 100%. Okay. The one thing I was hoping it would not make me do again, I am doing again. But it's only a thing that takes 2 seconds. There we go. Now it is zoomed out at a nice and clean 72%. An odd number, but hopefully this can kind of get the point across. I'm kind of scared to go full screen. Never go full screen. What happens if I zoom in? Oh. Maybe that's a bit much. That's fine for now. I can scroll up and down. Alright, we are getting started in a few seconds. Alright, I'm back. Dirk the Red Panda here with this poll thing. Why is it one giant poll? Because it makes it easier for me. Well, March Madness 2022, we are starting this thing in 4 minutes. I guess I was a bit too excited to get this thing started and decided to start a bit earlier than I was originally planning. My original plan was to open this thing up at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Right now, it is just before 3 p.m. And so, the reason why I'm not doing it at 5 p.m., like, conflict-wise, is because I am going out to dinner at that time, had something scheduled, and I didn't want to do it afterwards. I don't want to keep you all waiting. So, might as well start before. Alright, so, we got 3 minutes left until the polls begin. And once we do, I can give a quick little preview on the peoples that are in it, the candidates, those folks. What are they called? Oh man, this is gonna be fun. Oh no, the commercials. This is the curse of last year where I had to mute the commercials anytime they went on. Thanks, Spotify free. But yeah. It is quite an entertaining thing to do. I'm just looking forward to getting to see what everybody thinks again. And I feel like this format of having like a heavyweight, a middleweight, niche division does give like good exposure to each of their respective levels. And I also think it gives a chance for people to see like some less known novels or more up and coming novels, or take a look at like some ones they may have missed from before. Just a good little all-around exposure, just to see what's the big stuff, what's that stuff that's kind of coming around in the middle, stuff that's still kind of big but not like too obscure, and what's the obscure stuff that's starting to fall into play, or well, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying, but hey, the music is back on. And we have just under 2 minutes before we open things up. And my music window is right in front of the comments. Is that what the candidate's called? I don't know what I'm calling them. I just call them candidates, folks, whatever. Peoples. So, yep. Everybody's giving out high fives. Great, great. Nice job, Jason. Oh, Dirk is the best. That's why you said that. Good going, me. Honestly, these are going to be some tough matches, these first few rounds. Like, especially the heavyweight ones, there are some really tough first round matches. So, the victims, jeez. Yes, there are 31 losers and 1 winner in each division. So that makes 3 winners and 93 losers. And those 3 winners will face off against each other in a champions contest that takes place right after these brackets end. And I'll explain a little more as that gets closer, but anyway, we are just about there. We are almost ready to open up the polls. The link to the poll is in the description, but I am going to pop it in the chat very, very quickly, speed running the link here. And it's 3 o'clock. The responses are now open. Good luck, and please don't destroy my computer. Well, I'm going to carry that over to a separate window right now and close that one out so you can't cheat and look at the results. And I will be hiding the results until the polls end, just so people don't collude or see, oh, it's going this way, let me swing it this way on purpose. I don't know. I think it gives a little more suspense too. Anyway, the poll is right here. I just posted it, and the chaos will begin. So the 17-minute mark. Just need to make sure I know how to type things in. Maybe next time I'll invite Grizz and Fallen on if they're free at this time, but opening the pools is just kind of me just hitting the switch and going, it's open. So that's not really a thing that I really need them for. Doesn't take 3 people to do that. How do I vote? Looks above. Oh. Nice photo wisp. Alright, so to give a quick match preview, I'm going to exit out of the studio mode. Let's start with the niche division. For anybody who is curious and did not see the stream the other day, here is the top left corner, our first corner of the niche bracket, Gran from Limits versus Koshiro from Kingsguard. Moving on from that, Hiroko from London's Aesop versus Ed from A Place to Call Home. Following that, Leo from A Place to Call Home versus Brian from Santa Lucia. And finally, Goulash from Notes of Hearts versus Pierre from Limits. Honestly, a bit tougher than I expected this top left corner to be. We got some potential upsetters here in the other matches. Not too sure exactly how the first rounds would go in terms of upsets, but for sure by the time we get to that Sweet 16 Elite 8 place, I definitely think there's going to be some tough bids there. Actually, looking at it now, even the last first round match, Goulash and Pierre, can be a tough one. At least from my experience of playing both of them, but then again, also depends on who's played what. Let's go down to the bottom left corner, part 2. Mike Steele from Distant Travels versus Shay from ICO. This is Shay's debut, and this might be Mike Steele's debut too. I think there's a lot of debuts here, especially with the Limits and Distant Travels characters. So, I guess I'm saying the debut for characters who have, whose stories were in the bracket previous years but didn't make it the year before. So if I don't say it's their debut, sorry. But then we got Chris from Santa Lucia versus Wes from In Case of Emergency. Another new novel this year. Then we got Cedric from In Case of Emergency versus the sole candidate representing 922, the MC, Spencer. After that, we got Neris. Or Neris? From Neris? I don't know. It's the only name we are given in this title, and I'm probably going to butcher it either way. But Neris goes off against Norman from Limits. I think Neris may have appeared in the bracket before, or at least was represented in the inaugural 2020 year. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can't recall properly about that. But I definitely know for sure, like 2021, I don't think they were in it. Once again, correct me if I don't know my own brackets. But yeah, I don't know. Neris did not get the love I was expecting the year before, and this year it seems to be getting the love. Alright. Wait, is Yao titled as test candidate? No! Let me go back and change this. Sure. So here we go. Let me bring this up. I bet we already have responses. So if anybody's written test candidate in there, I'm probably going to change your response to Yao. Where the heck did I leave? No, that's where I forgot to change it. Yao from the smoke room. I was copying and pasting them the other day and kind of forgot. Alright. And my dog is here now. He is chilling. Alright, any other mistakes that I made? Probably should have double checked this before releasing. I crammed this all in during the weekend, so I'll get back to previewing the matches after I do my quick little brief scroll down this gigantic list. And maybe next year I'll put the niche group first in the order of these polls. Or maybe I'll do that for next round. Who knows? I don't know. It's good that you correct me there, William, because I did have a placeholder in before, just because I wanted to test something out before I created the poll, or well, before I put the actual names in. And it seems like everybody's good to go. Scroll. And back to the preview. Anyway, here's the top right corner of the bracket. Thanks again, William, for the correction. And I hope nobody has submitted Yao yet before I change the name. So try reloading it, and if that doesn't change it, I'll just try and manually change it if I see that. But anyway, the top right corner, we got Filio from A Place to Call Home versus Sydney from The Human Heart. Both novels I am unfortunately unfamiliar with, but they both do, from appearance, look like good, kind characters. I'm curious to see what people have in terms of their responses of why did they vote for this character. It was actually Sir Bob's idea for that little second part. Of course, every question here is optional, so you don't have to fill out that response part. But yeah, for people who are curious and like want to actually like give a reason, I thought it'd be a fun little thing to kind of look at and research maybe sometime later. But for now, I am just laying low and yeah, just doing this for now. I'm thinking in my head how I'm gonna graph that and like set that up, but that will be something I do when the time comes. Anyway, let us go on to Alan from Blackgate versus Toast from Where the Demon Lurks. Blackgate's interesting in that it was one of the novels I remember first hearing about when I first got into the VN fandom, and yeah, haven't heard much about it lately, but yeah, it's still ongoing. It's got its Twitter page and all that. I've linked that like on my Twitter for anybody who's curious. And then Where the Demon Lurks is one I haven't heard of, but the character designs look great. That again also does Blackgate, but I'm just saying my first thoughts as I look. Moving on, the other half of that quadrant is Kobu from Where the Demon Lurks. Both candidates made it, and they're the only two suggested so far, so next year, remember to suggest early. Kobu versus Luke from In Case of Emergency. And finally, to round out that quadrant, we got Nate from Santa Lucia versus Dave from Limits. Very exciting. Alright, now to conclude the niche group, we have John Maddox from Distant Travels versus Brimroar from Identity. Or if it's Brimroar, I apologize. Oh, you're the Sir Bob. I keep forgetting, like, your YouTube username, or speaking of which, I still need it. I'm sorry I don't have it yet. It's tough to find everybody's names. But yes, Bob has helped me out with some of this to, like, be a second hand. But, yeah. Just submitted mine. Yep. My opinion may not be valid since I barely do. Nah, don't worry about it. This is just... Doesn't matter how few or how many, you know. A vote's a vote. Anyway, let's go back to the final quadrant of the bracket. John Mags from Distant Travels versus Brimroar from Identity. Winner of that will face Carlos from Santa Lucia versus Remus from In Case of Emergency. After that, we got Jacob from Limits versus Wolfric from Small on Top. That was one of the original novels submitted into the bracket. I remember that from a while back. It seems to have made a return. And finally, we got Oscar Castle from Violet Memoir versus Roderick from Limits. I am totally pronouncing that right. But that concludes the niche division. Let's scroll on over to the middleweight bracket. And if y'all are curious on where I am doing this from, I am doing this from my Tableau dashboard that I created. A link in the description. So if you want to keep up with the latest on who's in which round and the results of each division and all that stuff, this is the site. It's all in one stop. Anyway, oh god, I am not scrolling the right thing. Here it is. This is the middleweight division. In the top left corner, we have Lyle from Liar versus Dom from Silly Tales of a Noon Dawn. Winner of that will face Alon from Shelter versus Argo, the MC from Knights College. A lot of Knights College representatives, as you will see in this middleweight division. But moving on from that, we continue with an ad that I did not intend to have playing. But anyway, we have Diego from Silio Tales of the New Dawn versus Torahiko from Morinatsu. I think that one will be a very interesting in terms of character dynamics. They both have that similar childhood friend dynamic, but also that kind of rough and tough around the edges type of personality. I think this will be a good matchup. And then we will have the winner of that face Owen from Repeat versus Hamish from Temptations Ballad, a Shirakoi battle. This will be interesting to see. I can't wait to see how this will go down. But yeah, that's definitely tougher than the niche divisions quadrant 1. Definitely could see multiple first round upsets here. I'm not gonna spoil who, but I think there are gonna be some good matches. Music comes back on. Anyway, the second part of it, part 2 of 4. I'm cutting off the heads of some of these characters by accident. There we go. Morrow from Temptations Ballad versus Theo from Knights College. Moving on from that, winner faces Ilya from Temptations Ballad versus Cooper from Remember the Flowers. And the other half of this quadrant, Rune from Shelter versus the MC from Silio Tales of a New Dawn, Adrian. And finally, to round that out, we got Haken, I think? Hakan? From Tavern Spear versus Ty from Silio Tales of a New Dawn. That is the first half of the middleweight division. Let's go on over here to the right top corner, as we have Max from Eden's Reach versus Oscar from Knights College. Then after that, the winner will face the winner of Artemai from Temptations Ballad versus Devin from Dawn Chorus. And after that, we have Axel from Remember the Flowers versus Rune from Dawn Chorus. Followed up with the winner of that facing the winner of Logan from Celia Tales of a New Dawn versus Sid from Temptations Ballad. It's strange because I've read, well, at least I am familiar with like all but one of the novels listed in this corner, but it's strange to see like some of the characters that I am not as familiar with. Like I have not seen Logan yet in Cilio, so this will be interesting. Let us go to the bottom right corner to conclude the middleweight bracket. And then I will speed through the heavyweight bracket and then run back to work. Here we go, the bottom right corner of the middleweight. Dietrich from Knights College, or Dietrich. However, Grizz pronounced it probably is right, and I'm probably wrong. Versus Jimsar from Pervader. Great to see Pervader back on the bracket. And now that winner will face the winner of Grantley from Knights College versus Cole from Temptations Ballad. Following that up, the other half, Volga from Chemo Coliseum versus Burry from Shelter. Two big boys facing it off, and we have two more big boys in this side of the bracket. The winner of that big boy bracket match up will face the winner of Avon from Tavern of Spear versus Oswald from Eden's Reach. And that is the middleweight bracket. This will be exciting. Now let's go on to the one that is the biggest bracket, the heaviest bracket, the heavyweight bracket. Here is the top left corner. Neferu from Adastra versus Todd from the Smoke Room. Both are just silly little guys. In relativity to the world they are in. But the winner of that will face the winner of Tano from Far Beyond the World versus Likalau from Nekajishi. I can already see all four of those being top contenders for the top four. And it's tough to see them all in the same corner. This is insane. Anyway, we move on to the other half of that bracket quadrant. Nikolai from the Smoke Room versus Kudzu from Echo. That is not the only Echo Project matchup we got, as we saw from above. The winner of this one, though, will face the winner of Parker, or better known as Mr. Stone, from Afterclass, versus Shuichi from Tennis Ace. Once again, we got some top contenders here in this top 16 area. All of them have been, or well, at least our 1, 8, 9, and 16 have placed in the top 8 or so in the past couple years. Maybe not Nikolai. Nikolai's gotten close though. But at least our 16, our 8, and our 1 have been fairly competitive in the past. Let us go down to the bottom left corner. Oh goodness. Here we go, starting off the top bottom, the top bottom left corner, the top of the bottom left corner. This part of the bracket is Macon from Socially Awkward versus June from Tennis Ace. The winner of that will face the winner of Jace the MC from Socially Awkward versus Coach Gill from Afterclass. Winner, or not the winner of that, but moving on to the other half of this part. Yuichi the MC from Tennis Ace versus Spencer from Extracurricular Activities. Battle of the Tennis Talents to see who takes this round of 32 and moves on to the Sweet 16. The winner of that will face the winner of Cliff from the Smoke Room versus Lin Hu from Nekajishi. Both with strong fan bases. That one is going to be a good battle. Even June and Macon is going to be a really good battle. And I think Jace and Coach Gill being matched up against each other is quite a fun one in terms of character traits. Honestly, all these matches I think are going to be quite interesting. Maybe Macon and June was a bit of an apples to oranges comparison, but I still think this will be exciting. Alright, nonetheless, we go up to the other half, the top right corner of this bracket thingamabob. Let's start out with William from the Smoke Room versus Asterion from Minotaur Hotel. This is Asterian's second appearance in the bracket and second consecutive year as being sole representative of his story. Quite a fearsome competitor. It was looking tough for him to see if he would make the bracket by the end, but he pulled his way through. And William had always been somebody that is a highly contentious person, or high in the bracket results before, but never wanted to make the big jump to what he is now, the number 3 seed. We'll see if he can keep it after this match. Winner of that will face the winner of Murdoch from the Smoke Room versus Tyson from Password. That will be fun to see. And on the other half of this quadrant, Vither from Far Beyond the World versus Walter the MC from After Class. Winner of that will face Yao, not test candidate. This is the actual candidate. Yao from the Smoke Room versus Lars from After Class. That is that quadrant. We definitely have some interesting candidates, some underdogs, I could say so myself, some literal underdogs. And some tigers. But nonetheless, I think this will be good. We got some strong lower seeds too. Expecting something interesting to happen here. Let's go to the final quadrant before I log off and let the chaos continue. Here we go. Starting it off, Tom from Socially Awkward versus Devin from Arches. Winner of that will face the winner of Dave. Well, it's not an MC name. Dave is now the canon name for Dave in Password. This was back when I kept that naming from when his name was changeable. Long story short, it's just Dave from Password from now on. Dave from Password versus another main character of a horror novel, thriller, whatever theme you like to call it, Samuel from the Smoke Room. Both with some tortured minds. I think this is a very well-suited match, and I'm looking forward to seeing our thoughts on this. I could go either way with this. Both of these candidates I like. Moving on from that, let's go to the other part. Varissa from Far Beyond the World versus Leo from Echo. And the winner of that will face the winner of Scipio from Chemia versus Volgor from Far Beyond the World. That concludes the heavyweight bracket and all the other brackets we have here. Bottom right's going to be quite interesting in my opinion, especially that bottom half of it. But we'll have to wait for the results to come in on that to see who will pull it out. I'm going to zoom out to 100%. And this is the dashboard, I think it's called, or Viz. I forget what they call it for Tableau, but basically your little website template thingamabob that you are going to use to access all the different rounds, such as the Sweet 16. The Sweet 16. The round of 32. Which for now you won't see the results yet because I haven't refreshed them. So you can't cheat. And many more things, including our selection from previously revealed episode, or whatever, previously revealed. You can see how the selection process went down, and also the brackets. And you could click on this and access the Google documents. Or well, click on this, and link to the responses. Yep, so that is everything I have for today. I gotta quickly run back to work. I took a bit longer than I expected, so thank you all for stopping by, and until next time. Take care, folks.